Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, here is the sum-up video talking about my last couple weeks in Arena, culminating in a top 30 finish. I've done this twice before, once in February, once in May. I'll put links to those playlists below, in addition to a link to a new playlist for this run. Although I guess I could start calling them top 25 runs, because the first time I got 23, second time I got 28, and this time I got, drumroll, 24. The majority of my finishes are in the top 25 now. I'm really happy with 24, the way things were looking. I was expecting like 28 or 29. There were some folks that were very close that could have overtaken me, but I guess they gave up on the last day. That's fine by me. I'm making an assumption here, but I think I have reached the upper limits of Arena possible without joining the hour before the reset, when much of the action happens. I got my best start ever, had good teams, had 100% bonuses, read the opponents well, got numerous like 40 or 50 or higher streaks. I took number 1 for a few hours, and yet no top 20 in the end, to say nothing of top 10. But I did get my beauty sleep. But here, let's take a look at kind of the bigger picture of the rankings for this week and then also last week. I asked for screenshots from last week of the global results, and some kind soul sent them to me. Where's my pants, I think it was. But unfortunately, when I transferred the images, they were just blank, so sorry I can't show you that. But let's go to ranking, and we'll go to last week, and then me. Oh, it doesn't even say my points, hang on. Let's see, 24, there we are. I just broke 200k, which is a new personal best for me. I think the last time, back in May, I got 190k. And then number 1 for that week was 240k. The week before, number 1 was nearly 300k. Maybe that was a more competitive week. But yeah, I think we can look at the numbers here. So let's see, top 10. Oh, by the way, Asaruto, he got number 4. See, top 10, that's how that's looking. Not a lot of drop off. All the way to about 20, 18, 20. And there's me. And then below me, they're about, let's see, that guy's 100, maybe 5,000 below. And then, yeah, it drops off a lot there. Top 30, 150k. Let's see, top 50, almost 100,000. And then let's see how far down this goes. 74, 65k. So that was last week. I think we can look at these numbers and kind of be assured that there's a pretty active user base, at least in Arena, which is a good thing for the health of the game. I really wonder how many of these players are free to play, since Royal Rank determines how many Vision or refreshes you get. There were days this week when I left maybe half a dozen refreshes unused. But yeah, just to have the possibility of being able to use them is an advantage. And a lot of things for me need to line up if I want to do a hard run. I kind of feel like I need the following. I want at least one 100% bonus something, ideally a vision card so I can put it on more teams. At least 21 of the Arena Refresh potions so I can use the max 3 per day every day. And then a map that I like but it's not necessary. And then I care more about the map, kind of the layout of it, more than the characteristic. Like this week, last week, dark units get more magic attack. That doesn't matter too much to me. It matters more the layout. And then the last thing that matters to me that I want to spend some time talking about is if there's nothing else I'm spending Vision Ore on. If there's something else that I'm building, like a Vision card or especially a unit, I don't want to be working on that at the same time that I'm spending a bunch of Vision Ore to refresh Arena. So there are actually not a lot of times I can or want to go hard in Arena. The best time for me might be during a collaboration. I usually get something. In May, this was during Final Fantasy VII, so I had like Barret and Aerith. But it couldn't have been a week earlier because I was still working on them, and it couldn't have been like a week or 2 later because they wouldn't have been the bonus unit as much. Okay, here, let's talk about some takeaways, some MVPs. In a previous video, I talked about my teams and like why they're built that way. You can have a look at that, but here I'll just talk about individual characters. But Classy Glassy, she was maybe the biggest takeaway for me. I really enjoyed using her, and she was strong. Pretty good defenses against magic attacks, so I feel really comfortable taking her against magic users. I'm very glad now that I worked on her. And then speaking of fire, the combo, not the combo, you could use them separately, but Rain and Christmas Mashiri, they're still doing awesome. Cost 80 units, represent. Who else? Muraga, the last time I went hard in Arena in May, I felt like he couldn't hold his own once we got to like top 100. But this time he was doing great in like, top 20, whatever. Maybe I've gotten better at using him, or maybe like the meta has progressed, that there's more sort of like a more defined niche for him, but he was great this time around. And then next was Oberon and Aranea. Very strong, very fun. Oberon, he's kind of the better of the two, because he's cost 100, he's got bigger AoEs and stuff, and other like defensive abilities. Still working on his vision cards, so in the future I'll be using him more, but yeah, both of them very strong. And then Whisper, she was a champ, especially in Dark Heavy. No, I think I used her only in Mono Dark teams. But like when I could pinpoint what I was going to go against, she was very, very good. She enabled my other characters very well. And then she's good against a variety of opponents, regardless of element, because, she is Dark Element. But what I found myself doing was that I was changing her equipment based on who I was facing, and then also her positioning. I didn't change anything else about her, not her skills or sub-jobs or support abilities or whatever, or abilities on-off. I just changed her equipment so that she could protect against Pierce or Magic or Slash or whatever. So in the future, if I use her in a future hard arena run, I might want to make like multiple Mono Dark teams, and have it like a versus Pierce, versus Magic, that kind of thing. And I think going forward, the team that I'll be using her on the most, maybe, will be Super Stern and Helena. Alright, next let's talk about Rosa. She was good and serviceable. I'm not a giant fan of using healers in Arena, but she was just fine for that. And then like with Aranea, if I could keep her alive to take one hit and then survive, Rosa could heal her back up, and then that was really great synergy. And then not a character, but a Trustmaster. The more I use this, the more I love it. This is so good. Gives Protect and Shell. Really good for attackers, I've found. Okay, and then kind of guys that I went against. Didn't really use her this week, but I went against her a little bit. She is a hard tank, and I just stopped enjoying going against her at all. So if I saw her in a team, I would just skip it. I'll spend some time. I don't really know her character too well yet. She does take good damage from magic, but otherwise I don't know how to deal with her. But yeah, I'll spend some time with mine, and then I'll do a review of her later, maybe an arena showcase as well. But Tubi and Tifa, they were no match for Engelbert, as usual. And then the elements that I saw the least, I think, the last week were Lightning, Water, and Light. Light, of course, because the dark units got the boost to their magic damage, but Lightning and Water, I guess it's just not their time at the moment. Alright, finally, let's look at various teams that I farmed. I won't break down and analyze them, but you can look at what they equipped. If any of them interest you, you can pause the video and take a screenshot or something. And then if you look in the darkened background, you can see the team that I used. And again, I break down the teams that I use in a different video, which I'll add to the playlist. I will say, however, that the matchup that interests me most right now is Dark versus Dark. With that matchup, the elements matter less, unless you have the Demon Wall or the Upside Down Diadio card. And whatever team does not have one of those is at a disadvantage, I think. And folks were complaining about Dark getting too strong with the addition of Kain and Golbez, but I love it. I see it as an expansion of the variety in Dark teams, and really making Dark versus Dark more dynamic, less predictable. And like, even though there are more dark units, you can still only take 3 members on a team, so I don't see what the big deal is. And like before, there really only was one competitive mono-dark team. The official name was Helena and some other guys. But now there are multiple options for mono-dark PvP teams without Helena. I think any combination of like 2 of Golbez, Kyne, Super Stern, and Dwayne will have enough damage output to be a threat. And then there are a variety of units you could put in that 3rd slot. Support with Nemude, tie-up with Shadowlynx or Vineta, tanking with Sasayaki, non-slash or magic damage with Lamega, ranged breaks and status effects from Prompto or Dairyu. Dark is really filling out and is a harbinger of things to come. I talk about this in my Golden Time video, but someday every element will be this robust, and that is super exciting. Dark, and then kind of to a lesser extent Light, are just the first, which is why things look unbalanced now. And I feel like in the future arena, we won't be able to simply take a Wind team against an Earth team, for example, and be guaranteed of a victory. We're going to have to pay attention to attack types and resistances, and one-on-one matchups, and how the units are equipped, and how the units interact with each other. That Earth team might be so well built and thought out that it can overcome element disadvantage. This is the natural deepening of the gameplay as the game and the accounts of players mature over time, and there's so much potential I see, which is why I believe in this game and want it to succeed and have a long life. The game is great now, but over the horizon is something really special, which is why I get very protective and call out folks that I see as harming the game. Okay, that'll do it for this video. I love War of the Visions. I actually kind of want to go back into Arena this week, but I'm all out of the Arena refresh potions. So I'll wait. It might take, a month or 2. But looking at the bonuses, I would want to build teams around June, and again, Dark Heavy with the Demon's Wall Vision card. Although I use the Demon's Wall Vision card for the bonus just fine in like my Mono Earth and Mono Fire teams. It was kind of a journey the last couple weeks. If you've been reading my community posts, thank you for following along. Hopefully that was a good snapshot of what Arena is looking like now in JP. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.